from wrong. And the tears been falling for so long. But the more you try to work it out, it seems you're going around in circles. But your best is yet to come. Activating success. Activating success. Activating success. Activating success.
Welcome to an exciting episode of Activating Success. Today is a new day. Don't let anybody depress you. Don't give up on life. You are too loaded to fail. You have what it takes to be celebrated. Don't go away. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
And now, Activating Success with Love Idoko.
Welcome back. Today we're honored to have someone who is an inspiration to countless people all over the world. He is the king of comedy in Nigeria. Today we're honored to have Ali Baba. Welcome to Activating Success.
Thank you for having me.
We're so honored to have you, sir.
Thank you. I'm humbled. Thanks.
You are the grandfather and the father of comedy in Nigeria.
Like Jesus said, so they say.
How does it feel?
Well, the thing is that it puts a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders. It demands a lot from you as well. You now have to live above board. You now have to set standards, and you can't be found wanting. And so that just pushes you up out there like you're not like a sore thumb. But it comes with a lot of respect along the lane, and much appreciated too.
Well, a lot of young people look up to you. As a matter of fact, you have inspired so many comedians today. Tell us, how has the journey been so far?
Well, the thing is that it's a three-phase level journey, because when I started, there was better way to put it is that there was the absence of appreciation for the trade as an art form. People knew that comedy was something that belonged to the theater, but they did not think it was enough to be commercial. And so we had to grow the appreciation level. We had to now develop the content and make it a service that somebody could pay for. And then with time, we now began to develop the content. The initial part was a problem because people did not think that it was worth paying for. So we were last on the list if anybody was planning an event, and first to go if they were cutting down costs. But as they began to see the value proposition of what we were doing, it was easy to warm themselves up to it, because we now became essentially the art that could permeate every kind of marketing platform for the brand manager, for the corporate affairs service person, and for event planners. And we worked with the spur of the moment, and so it was easy to assimilate us into event planning. Took a while because I started doing stand-up comedy professionally by 1990, but started in 1988. So next year will be 30 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. So how does it feel? Because a lot of people believe that you've gotten to a level where it's enviable, actually. And some comedians just come up and then after few years, they're out of the scene. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the thing is that it's like technology. You know, now if anybody says he wants to design a car, you now have an Apple or MacBook or design platforms that you can use to design those cars and design them better. Back in the days, it was manual. These days, when people I remember days when we were in school and we were using 4-figure tables to solve our maths and all of that stuff. Now they use their calculus and scientific calculators and just punch the numbers. Okay, so it's just like that as well. The hard work has been done between 1987 and 2007. So it took me to break into mainstream business, break into mainstream entertainment culture, took from 1987 till 1996. And then from 1997, when people now warmed up to it, then Obasanjo came in 1999 and just blew it off the roof. So the acceptance now became subnational. From Obasanjo, every state government now felt, well, if Obasanjo could accept this, then it's okay with us. Okay, yeah. Gradually, a lot of people who came in as comedians at the time or switched trade, some were actors before and they decided they needed to be purely comedians. It was now easy. The platform was already there, the appreciation level had grown, and so the comedian that took, even if you look at it in any other profession, some broadcasters would take 26, 27 years to make a name for themselves. These days, because of the plethora of radio stations, somebody who is a broadcaster in 1 year, he becomes popular, even more popular than somebody that's been in the business for so long. So that's exactly the dynamics that worked for us. Now comedians, in 2 years, once you are good, you can make your name and stamp your feet in the industry.
Okay, these days we see a lot of comedians, after making their name, they become a bit proud, So what do you have to say about that? You've achieved a lot and you have remained humble. What is the secret?
Humility is cheap. Humility is cheap. It's cheaper than arrogance. Arrogance and pride are very expensive. But then it depends on the kind of constituents that are in you. What makes you up? What do you consider value? Do you consider popularity to be more valuable than respect? Do you consider being recognized by people of worth, or being recognized by a large number of people of no content to be better than being recognized by people of worth? Do you walk into a place and everybody goes, oh, that's him? Or people say, oh, that's him, I need to shake him. That's two ways to it. So we say, oh, that's him. And then somebody say, oh, is that him? And then they come to shake you. So that's the two way to it. I don't think some of the people right now, you cannot define somebody's upbringing. You accept it. If the person has been brought up in a bad way, you either begin to tolerate it or live around it or just micromanage the person's exhibited character. So for some, they joined the business because they just saw that there was money.
Yes.
So for those ones who joined because of money, it will be hard to brainwash them to begin to see that this is a respectable business, and when you make money, you're not supposed to be so loud, you're not supposed to be so proud, that you can't change about certain people. Sometimes it's because of the religious foundation that they also have. Because when you, and they're easy to, they quickly quote the part of the Bible that says, do you have light and put it under a bushel? No, you should be loud, you should show off. But for me, it is that it is who they are, and you just needed the fame that came with comedy to make it louder. So, like they say, if somebody is bad, it's not because the person got rich that made him bad. It's that the person has been bad, that just being rich just amplified it.
Wow. You're also a motivational speaker.
Sometimes.
But it's part of what you do, sir.
I try.
Okay. What is your most urgent and most pressing message you have for the youths of this generation?
Education. Education is the foundation that every other thing is built on. The ability to read, the ability to write, but not just those two. The ability to read, write, and comprehend. So what's happening is that you have failure of our people to understand after reading because they were not taught to read and understand. Some of them were taught to read and pass. And so this is a problem. People go to many places, you find that the children between the ages of 3, 4, 5, 6 that do not know what A is, B is, and if you put 3 words together, C-A-T, they don't know that it's cat. Okay, so this person becomes a primary 1 student. But in the homes of people who are comfortable, while the child is 2, he already knows A, B, say, can sing nursery rhymes, can identify a cat, can put 2 3-letter words together. The person can say M-O, M-E is me. He can say B-E is B. He can say H-I is high. And so the child at 2 knows those. And so the child continues to grow. So by the time the child is 3, the child can identify 3 to 4-letter words. And so the child becomes 4, and then 5. And so if that child gets into a class with a child that is 6, that does not know how to read or write, the child that is well brought up and has been given some of those coordinates and dynamics of reading and understanding, converse better, express themselves better, can tell you, Mommy, I am tired. Mommy, I want to eat. I don't want to eat that. This is a child that is 3. Yeah. But the child that is 6, that doesn't know how to express himself, will keep things in because the child cannot express himself. And so they both meet in class 1, primary 1. The teacher is more open to teach the one that already has a foundation. Exactly. And so the one that is 6 and doesn't just annoys him. And so he can't waste his time trying to make this one catch up because it will mean 2 teaching methods. This one, how to continue with this one because the learning process has gotten to a point, or how to bring this one up to speed. So what happens is that because education has been commercialized in Nigeria, this is what happens. The man that owns a school has 32 people in primary 1. He's planning to take in 32 people again next year. So if 27 pass and 5 fail, it means that if you add the 5 to his 32 that are coming into 37, it means he has to prepare other things to accommodate those new people in the class. It won't happen. So the commercial schools will push them up to the next class. This child that is 6, that doesn't know what to do and can't read and listen, gets to the next class. So what has happened? His foundation is shaky already. Don't forget that the currency for education in Nigeria is English language. There is no book in geography that is written in Yoruba. There's no book in biology that's written in Hausa. And so when people want to compare ourselves to foreign countries and say, oh, do they speak English in China? Do they speak English in Paris? Do they speak English in Spain or in Russia? We say, cool down. There are textbooks in Chinese, Mandarin. There are textbooks in French. There are textbooks in all those languages that you're talking about. And so it's easy for the children to use their mother tongue to learn those subjects. But we don't have anything like that here. And annoyingly too is that some of those subjects are now even being taught in Arabic. So what it means is that the Arabs are beginning to learn. Don't forget that Timbuktu used to be like the first universities back in the days. And so reading and writing in Arabic had been writing came from Egypt. So education had gone a step ahead back in those places. We have missed the first wave of education in development. We've missed the first wave of education. We've missed the second wave of education. We've missed the third wave of technology. Now we're missing the 4th wave of information technology that is driving every other thing because we have not gotten our education right in the first place. So it permeates through our history. And what does that do? It just makes us limbo, handicaps us, and so our children are beginning to grow up to not understand that the currency of development is English language. Until we find any other language that teaches our subjects to every other person, then we won't go anywhere. That's the problem.
Wow. I believe you're getting inspired here. Don't go away. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Hello, friend. I'm Mike Murdoch. Keep watching Activating Success with my wonderful, wonderful friend, Love Idoko.
This is Bishop Noel Jones, and I want you to continue watching Activate Success with Love Idoko.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Activating Success with Love Idoko, and we're so honored to have the king of comedy in Nigeria, Ali Baba. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for having me again.
A lot of young people believe right now that the country is in recession.
Yeah.
For somebody watching you right now who is confused about life, who is depressed, who is at the verge of giving up, what word of encouragement do you have for such a person?
The thing is, people need to know that ideas drive the world. When Moses was put in the basket and put to float, a lot of people just see it as, oh, the mother put Moses in the basket and put Moses to float. What they failed to understand was that there was so much marketing and business dynamics that went into that process alone. First of all, Moses' mother first had to find out where the woman bathes. First has to find out the kind of person the woman is, because if the woman already had 5 children and you put one child inside a basket, it will not matter. So all of those keyed into what she did and drove her passion. What is happening is that people either do not have ideas, but there are 2 kinds of people: those who own businesses and people who work in those businesses. There's some people, they just want to contribute, but some people want to create platforms. So somebody decides, oh, I want to set up a business, and the business is making pap. Then another person says, okay, I want to distribute that pap that you're making. Or I want to work in the place because I read microbiology, so I should be able to work in the place. Or I read food and nutrition, and I should be able to work in the place. Those are the kind of people that we have. But what is happening these days is that you have 90% of the people who want to work in an outfit wanting to own an outfit. So if you were not brought up or rigged to be somebody who owns a business, but because you see other people owning businesses, you want to own a business too, then you're bound to fail.
True.
Like my mom used to tell me, she said, when a lizard runs through rain and a rat runs through rain, they went through the same rain, but the lizard will shake off the water on his back and continue on. The rat will need to take about 2-3 days for the body to dry.
Right.
But they went through the same rain because they are all rigged differently. So there are people who believe that if Kemi can do this, why won't I be able to do it? Not everybody is cut out for the same thing. So ideas, like I said from the beginning, ideas drive the world. Joseph was locked up in prison, and he had an idea that could save the country from, he was just a dreamer. And if you think about it, he was a shepherd. And then from being a shepherd and a dreamer, he becomes an administrator in Egypt. And so what transpired between him becoming an administrator in Egypt is that he took work and doubled his effort to increase the value of things in Egypt. It's not that because he's just an Israelite, then he became, no. People think if Joseph could become an administrator in Egypt, why can't I become an administrator? He had a background. He provided a solution to something. And the person who was in charge there, the Pharaoh, felt, if this guy has this kind of ideas, then he should be the one that would manage it. What people don't get is that if you don't have an idea, you can't lay claims to what other people have. You find people these days, it's always amusing when you see something like American Idols or X Factor, and you see the millions of people who come to take part because they feel the person that came to take part last year won $2 million and became a big artist. I can sing too. And then what happens? When you give them the microphone, they know the difference between sing and scream. Okay? So ideas need to be properly engineered for it to become a solution to something so that people can benefit from it. Because even if you know how to sing, you know how to dance, you know how to do anything, until you package it into a service, nobody will want it.
True.
If you know how to sing and you can sing from here till tomorrow, until somebody says, this song that this guy is singing, I think we could have the person perform before our show starts, then you are providing a service. Whatever you do, until you provide the service, oh, you know how to take care of children, until you set up a daycare so that when they bring children. I've seen people like that. A child is crying, and as soon as they take the child, they know what to do, and the child keeps quiet. Most times when the child now wants to live with the mom, the child doesn't want to leave this person that is a stranger, because the child has been properly managed, such people can open schools and then begin to teach people how they do those things. So it takes a while, but ideas need to drive the world, and the youths these days should not be thinking of quick cash, because there's a time capsule for every career. The time capsule is that you can be a lawyer and it takes you 15 years to make it.
Yes.
You can be a musician like Davido, and in 4 years you have made it. Don't forget that as a footballer, you have only 10 years of football career. After that 10 years, nobody will sign you again, because once you've crossed 32, 33, your signing fee begins to drop. And then the clubs that are coming after you also reduce. So there's a time capsule for every career. Unlike our kind of business where you can continue to crack jokes for as long as you want. If you are a 100 meters runner, by the time you hit 30, you can't go and compete with Usain Bolt again. Even if you were 21, you can't compete with him in the first place. Then, so those are the things that work. I believe that for every youth in this country, must understand the dynamics of whatever they want to go into, study it properly, and then know who the competition is and what they want to do, then fine-tune it. But what a lot of people don't understand is, don't just go in because of the money, which is where they fail. They're like, oh, somebody is selling ice cream on my street, and the person has bought a brand new car. I want to also sell ice cream.
Be passionate about what they're
exactly.
doing first.
Oh, there was a what's it called? Propeller. The guy owns a club in Kellogg's. He tweeted something and said, "Let your passion drive your dreams. Don't let cash drive your dream." And somebody said, why won't you say that? You already made money. Why won't you say it's passion? But what they fail to understand is that this guy had a passion for night clubbing.
That's why he succeeded.
Exactly. But for a lot of youths, they see the finished product.
Yes, they're not ready to go through the process.
Some of them will see me drive a Lexus to an event, and they're like, bros, man, I like this car. I want to buy the car. And I say, what are you driving now? No, I have not arrived now. But you want to drive a Lexus. So the same thing happens when they hear the amount that somebody gets paid. Oh, this person gets, some footballers that have not even registered with the club, they say, Ronaldo, Messi, did you hear how much they get paid weekly? Meanwhile, he has not gone for screening to even join a club. He has not honed his skills, but he wants to earn that kind of money. That is what drives a lot of them to quick fix.
Okay, so a lot of people believe that comedians are always cracking jokes, and so you don't get angry at all. Do you get
Oh me
angry?
first, oh me. Oh me, you will know. No, we get angry. Okay, there was, let me, kind of like a funny story, but I was waiting for, it was a zebra crossing. So I was driving, and then I saw the zebra crossing, and the light was flickering, and as I slowed down, and one guy rams into me from behind. Thank God the last mile guys were around, and so the traffic guys were around, and so the guy said, "Oga, why did you run into him now? You have to fix this car, you have to fix the bumper." I was still in the car, still thinking, man, I really don't want to come down from this car. And so I came down, and the man said, it's Ali Baba now. Yeah, I watch your shows all the time, so sorry, I just missed this. So sorry. So
because it's Ali Baba, he didn't take it serious.
Yeah, so I came down, so I said, so what are we going to do? He said, Ali, who are your fans? I was thinking of it. So I looked at the bumper, I looked at this. It cost me like 82,000 to sort out. Not too long again, my driver went out, and he said that they bashed him. I said, go and fix that thing. Let the man fix the thing. He said the policeman came, and he told the policeman who owned the car. And the man said, I'm his friend. And I said, I'm not even coming to that place. So when people see you as a comedian or as an artist, they don't think you have issues. They don't think you operate in the same market. For instance, they think that they shouldn't pay you fees properly because your life is just go merry. So when you go to the school and they say children's school fees, you just tell them I'm a comedian, they say, oh, your child can go. So and when you want to buy tickets to come to Abuja, you have bills to pay.
Yes.
So it's a wrong notion, and the impression that people have is totally wrong. We have sad days. I have pains. I have worries. I'm bothered about a lot of things, and so when those things happen, they weigh me down like it will weigh any other human being down. What the advantage we just have as comedians is that you can make light of different things. When things happen to you, you can make light of them. My mom and I will talk, and okay, my mom believes that I'm a criminal. And when I tell people that, they're like,
Criminal,
okay, your mom says, my mom says that because she came home one day, she came to visit and she was sitting down in the house, and so these guys came from Coca-Cola to negotiate for an event, and I told them 1.5, and they said no, that what they wanted to pay was 1.2, and I said no, 1.5, because the last one I did for you guys, you gave me, you cut it down, and so this time I'm not even giving you discounts. And so they got up and were going. I didn't know my mom was listening. And so my mom came and said, what is it that you're supposed to do for them? I said, MC. She said, you dey supply anything? I said, no. You go help them carry chair? I said, no. Now you go decorate the hall? I said, no. So I said, Mommy, what's all this? She said, you be thief. I said, Mommy, I don't understand. I said, and she stepped out and called them, Mona, come. He has agreed, come. And so the guys came, they were very happy. They were greeting my mom, thank you. One of them became Mommy's friend, took her number. He said, anytime we want to call him, we'll call you directly. So to my mom, that's a lot of money. But you see, as a comedian, I can take that. I can laugh over a lot of things and not be bothered or weighed down by them. So it's an advantage. For some other people, they don't have that kind of leverage. But in spite of that, you can also be sure to know that many comedians internationally have committed suicide. They suffer from depression. So that you're a comedian does not build a guarantee for you that you must be always happy. So.
Thank you so much, sir. I have been so inspired today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name
Five Kashmir Ibrahim Road, beside Immigration Office, Old GRA, Makurdi, Benue State.
The Dream Center, everything events.
See you there.
Wow, that was so inspiring. It is possible to be celebrated. Celebrate yourself. Get excited about your life. Whatever you find yourself doing, be the best at whatever you do. Update your mentality, update your knowledge. That you know it yesterday does not give you automatic victory today. You must update your knowledge. Get excited about your life. Join us, same station, same time next week. Thank you.